bronze command token, a hidden map, and 3 divine guillotines, told Leon Carte that the war-forged dominion had only begun to show itself. After Daphne Morwen moved her haven shelter beside his, she told him about the calamity, the ruins, and altar growth. Leon pushed his level 7 short-blade skeleton altar to level 10. By feeding it, bought short-blade altars. From the 9 rewards, he chose the Bonecaster skeleton path, the Bone Grove skeleton tree, and random bone weapons. The new eternal altar let him keep turning bone shards into more skeletons, so he ordered his bone overlords to gather bone shards, kept summoning troops, and sent them to harvest resources. The group noticed the harvest, but Warren Vale's fate stopped anyone from trying to rob him. 3 days later, Leon's stores had passed the 1 million mark. More than 1,000 marauder bandits then found his manor estate by following the wood-hauling skeletons. Their leader was the Lord-class Shortblade, Marauder King. Leon stepped out alone. The bandits hurled axes. He caught everyone. The Marauder King still demanded treasure. Leon called over a 3-meter half-drakekin and ordered it to kill them all. The half-drakekin tore several bandits apart. The Marauder King used burrow step and fled first. The rest could barely scratch the half-drakekin, and the poison failed. The fugitives ran into skeletons. Leon had already stationed outside. Every bandit died and was turned by skeleton knights into new skeleton troops. Leon still wanted the Marauder King. Shadow locusts tracked him to the Hollow of Broken Faith, where chests of gold and silver hoard sat beside him. Leon led troops there. A hidden shadow locust pinned the Marauder King before he could flee again. He shouted that he served General Roderick Stormbrand of the Ashen Crown dynasty. Leon ignored him and ordered the kill. After the treasure was brought back, Leon upgraded his haven shelter and found a map. Part matched his enchanted map. Another part showed a much larger world. The Sanctum player's land was only a pocket frontier. Around it lay 4 great regions. And on Warland's continent, the nearest marked land was Ashen Crown. Other regions included Blackwall Dominion, Radiant Dawn Empire, and Luminous Realm. Leon concluded that the Imperial Ascension Academy had hidden the full records. For now, he decided to finish exploring with Shadow Locusts, and then meet Clara Shaw and Marcus. Daphne later came to rent skeletons. Her haven shelter had a lumber camp, stone quarry, and mine tunnel, but her lizardmen were flesh and blood. Leon agreed to lend skeletons for production shares instead of gold coins. After bargaining, they signed a deal. Leon would take 30% of the harvest. He sent Daphne away with 100,000 skeleton soldiers. The next morning, the Will of the War-forged Dominion announced a second feast. Every outsider had 1 hour to find an ally, and combined forces or one would be assigned at random. Leon immediately allied with Daphne. Another order followed. They had 1 hour and 59 minutes to prepare supplies and enter the war-bound expanse. Once inside, all spatial equipment would be sealed. Leon brought troops. Daphne brought materials. Skeletons packed everything they could carry. Leon prepared breadfruit. When time ended, a waygate passage opened, and they led their forces through. They arrived in endless grassland. Leon sent shadow locusts outward and checked the enchanted map. 10 kilometers in every direction were grass. No rivers, no mountains. Shelter data was gone. Only troop data remained. Leon had 1,973,897 short-blade skeletons, plus red furnace dwarfs, halfling, drakespear, bowcross, shadow locust altar, and provision treats. Daphne had lizardmen, petrifang, lizardmen, flamebolt, lizardmen, halberd, lizardmen, and bulwark century, treant wardens. The rule was simple. Survive 1 month with no support, while powerful armies were randomly sent to attack them. The skeletons did not eat. The shadow insects could eat grass. The provision treants would keep growing breadfruit. Shadow locusts found Moonwell Lakelet. Leon led the alliance there. The first attacker met them on the way. A heavily armored commander charged with 3 war phalanxes, 1,000 longspear legionaries, 1,000 Bladguard legionaries, and 1,000 crossbow legionaries. Leon and Daphne chose caution. Bulwark Sentry Trent Wardens formed a ring around them. Shortblade skeletons went first. Leon expected the skeleton sea to bury 3,000 men. Instead, the Longspear legionaries condensed Morale into a giant spear and killed 100,000 skeletons. The Blade Guard legionaries formed a shield and blade and smashed another 50,000. The crossbow legionaries did less, because skeletons ignored arrows, and the tree wardens covered the living troops. Once the skeletons reached them, Leon saw that each soldier could kill 50, or even 100 skeleton soldiers, or iron-bone skeletons. Despite being only transcendent lifeforms, his hero bone overlords rushed out, absorbed bone shards, and built 10-meter bodies around themselves. Bone giants smashed into the phalanxes, broke formations, shattered morale, and trampled huge numbers of troops. The enemy commander tried to flee. A lurking black-bone skeleton struck first. One teeth cleave drained him into a corpse. The black-bone skeleton stripped off his rune-forged armor and brought it to Leon. Leon offered it to Daphne. She refused it. Leon ordered the red furnace dwarves to refit it and rewarded the black-bone skeleton instead. The same skeleton also handed over a bronze command token marked with song. Leon recalled the Bronze Crest dynasty and guessed the defeated force came from there. The token itself could raise an altar from level 2 to level 4. Leon wanted more. Far away in the Hall of Contemplation, a young commander of the Bronze Crest dynasty coughed blood and collapsed after losing a trial to more than 110-meter bone giants. Proctor Cedric Valehart dismissed him and turned to the dark-faced youth he valued most, Bastion Crow. Bastion's spirit entered the battlefield. He used martial manifestation. 9,000 men phalanxes appeared behind him. 6 souls appeared beside him. Dragon War Soul, Tiger War Soul, Court War Soul, Dynasty War Soul, Justicar Soul, and Stratagem Soul. Stratagem Soul found the enemy direction. Justicar Soul sensed movement and killed a shadow locust with one sword arc. Daphne asked to test him with her lizardmen. Leon agreed. Shortblade lizardmen and Flamebolt lizardmen moved through the grass and reached the enemy. Just as they moved, Justicar Soul leaped high and released more than 100 sword arcs, each killing a lizardman. Daphne threw the rest in. Nearly 1,000 lizardmen rushed out. Dragon Tiger Court and Dynasty Warsoul met them and slaughtered them all. Bastion kept advancing in perfect order. Leon raised the skeleton legions and waited. When the two sides met, Bastion's force was under 10,000. Against Leon's skeleton sea, it looked pitiful. His 4 war souls called Leon a great evil and wanted his head. Bastion stopped them. Leon carried bloodshed, he said, but not wickedness. Bastion then ordered all these white bones delivered. 9 phalanxes spread out. 6 souls released their power. Bastion used morale to summon 3 giant guillotines. The Houndhead guillotine opened first, above every ordinary life form and ordinary undead. In Leon and Daphne's army, a divine hound shadow appeared, bit down, and erased them. Nearly 1 million ordinary troops vanished. Leon ordered an immediate assault. Tree spikes, shadow nails, and every other attack rained toward Bastion. But the 4 war souls inhaled and swallowed them all. Then the second guillotine opened. Above every elite life form and elite undead, a tiger shadow appeared. The blade fell. More than 1 million troops died. Leon roared and sent in the hero bone overlords. They absorbed bone shards, became bone giants, and charged BOE. Bastion's 9 phalanxes answered with giant morale weapons that smashed the bone giants apart and bought time for the 3rd execution. The dragon head guillotine opened. Golden dragon shadows coiled around every transcendent life form and transcendent undead in Leon's alliance. In less than 3 seconds, they were all strangled to death. Leon finally saw the limit. Every hero life form on his side had survived. Bastion's 3 guillotines were spent. Leon drove the bone giants forward again. The surviving half-drake, kin, and lizardmen followed with ranged attacks. A thin film of morale blocked it all. Bastion asked if Leon still did not know his fault. The words struck Leon like thunder. He saw his own killings, his bloody rise, and even his parents looking at him. For a moment he wanted to submit. Then he woke. Leon cursed Bastion for fighting dirty, and ordered the bone overlords to smash the shell. More than 100 bone giants hammered at it, without stopping. Even when phalanx weapons shattered their bodies, they kept returning. Bone giants broke and reformed again and again. Bastion's morale began to fail. Leon's soul lord, Undead the Grand Bone Overlord, gathered endless bone shards, formed a 100-meter body, and stepped onto the film. Bastion could no longer hold it. Disorder appeared in the 9 phalanxes. Leon knew the real battle had begun. Bone giants pressed from the front. Halfdrake, Kin, and Lizardmen attacked from behind. Soldiers on both sides died. The 6 souls threw themselves into Bastion's defense. Then, Leon's Holy Bone Skeleton and Crystal Skeleton King acted. They used skeletal reanimation on the dead. Transcendent skeleton knights rose from corpses. Leon instantly used sovereign assimilation to merge them into a fresh bone overlord. That bone overlord gathered nearby bone shards, became a bone giant, and rejoined the fight. Bastion's expression finally changed. The balance tilted. The Holy Bone Skeleton and Crystal Skeleton King reached for the corpses of Bastion's fallen soldiers. More skeletons rose from those bodies and attacked their former comrades. Bastion had no answer. His 6 souls saw the same truth. If the fight continued, his last morale would burn away. They lifted Bastion and fled with everything they had. Leon ordered the bone giants to pursue, but even they could not catch 6 souls. Fleeing at full speed,